friends. This is Jeff Yalden. How are you? Hey, so I was real hesitant to share this message, but I thought that it was probably more important that I shared this message than it was more important that I just kept my opinion and my thoughts to myself. Having said that, I hope that if you think that my message to you makes sense, you're going to share and repost this message for your friends and other parents to see. I'd also be honored if you would give me your feedback, comments to maybe it doesn't make sense and think maybe I'm overreacting. Whatever it might be, I think this is a good discussion to have. So listen, Thursday is September 11th, the anniversary of a day that not only devastated us as Americans, but devastated people all over the world. I think it's a day that we all became aware of the reality of terrorism and the effects that can have on communities, a country, a city, families. What I'm proposing is I would wish that someday we as a country would look at September 11th and make it a national holiday where parents can stay home with their children. Children are off from school, and it could be a day of reflection and rejoice where we come together as Americans and remember what we've all been through. My message to you is not necessarily about that, but my message to you is of a much greater immediate call to action. You look at our terrorism right now in this new radical group, ISIS. We're missing 11 jets. And there's fear in America that we're going to be faced with another terroristic attack that's going to be even more devastating than what we watched when the Twin Towers went down and the airplanes were hijacked in D.C. and Pennsylvania, New York City. I want you to think for a second that not too long ago in Sandy Hook, Connecticut, a small New England town, many people thought it would never happen to them, or we think it would never happen to us. But you know, the reality is it doesn't need to be a big city like Houston or Chicago, LA, New York, Miami, Seattle, or Oklahoma City. It can happen anywhere at any time. And what this radical ISIS group and other terroristic groups are saying, and they're saying it loud and clear to our government, they can do anything they want, when they want, how they want, any way they want. And what better way for them to have another attack on our country than to do it on the anniversary of one of the most devastating things that we've ever witnessed? I'm kind of proposing that we as parents should probably keep our children home on Thursday. I know there's been talk about one of our academies, the Air Force Academy, or maybe West Point or Annapolis Coast Guard Academy, of being the victim of a terrorist attack. But I think, and many other people have thought the same thing, that our educational system is wide open with a great big bullseye on their back. I mean, imagine something happened to one of our elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, or colleges and universities where we lost hundreds of kids. What would happen if this happened to multiple schools in multiple states? I think it could happen. I don't think I'm being too far stretched in my imagination that something that terrible can happen. That's what they want. So I think on Thursday, 2011, the anniversary, I'm proposing that we as parents, we stay home from work and we keep our children home from work. I don't think we need to live in fear, but I think we need to be proactive in our approach to doing the right thing and being cautious and realizing the potential and the devastation that could happen in any community in our country. I don't think I'm being crazy. I think my heart is sharing a message to the young people and to the parents of our country that this can happen to you. It can happen to us. I'd love to hear what you think. This is just my thoughts.